guys, so I'm finally here to talk about Alien Covenant. I know it's really late. I've been in Germany for about a week, so I haven't been able to talk about it, but I'm back, and I'm really excited to do so. If you guys have been following, you know I've been reviewing several of the Alien movies leading up to this movie: Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, and Prometheus, and today we're going to talk about Alien Covenant. So this takes place about 10 years after Prometheus, and this ship called the Covenant is on a colony mission to start a new life, and as they're doing so, they get this weird rogue transmission that there might be life on this other Earth that they're not sure about, so they go off to figure things out, and there might just be some aliens on this planet, but you don't know for sure. You'll have to find out and watch the movie. And don't worry, there are not going to be any spoilers in this video. So I think this is more or less the Alien prequel that people were hoping for when Prometheus came out, because even though this is definitely a sequel to Prometheus, it is also very much more of an Alien movie, not as much of a deep philosophical sci-fi drama. But the fact that it does kind of put those two things together in this movie might be one of the reasons that I thought this was a really good and entertaining movie. So starting off, what I liked about the movie, I thought the cast was really good. I thought, they weren't like super well-developed characters, but they were developed enough and you did care about them, I felt. You have Michael Fassbender coming back playing a different synthetic android than he did in the first one. And it's funny because, in Prometheus he actually had his accent, but in this one he has like a Southern American accent. So that was kind of funny to see. And Catherine Waterston plays kind of the main female lead in the movie. She's sort of a Ripley-esque character. Not quite as good as Ripley because Ripley is Ripley, but I thought she was really good in the movie. And you also had Danny McBride, that one roommate of Emma Stone's from La La Land, and that lawyer guy from Spotlight. I don't really know their names, but I remember their faces, and I thought for the most part they were good in this movie as well. Also, what was great about this movie, it looks really great. Ridley Scott did kind of a similar thing like he did with Prometheus, where he just did a really good job and really had fun with putting these really cool sci-fi visuals on the screen with like the spaceships in space and with the aliens. I will say there was a time or two where you could kind of tell where the aliens were CGI, but it's nowhere near as god-awful as Alien 3 was. No, I thought they actually handled it pretty well here. And also, like, the look of the planet that they're on is really cool. It's really like, nature-esque and mountainous and woodsy, and it just looked really cinematic and really great. Now, at first, when the story was going along and you first actually get on the alien planet and, stuff starts to happen, like bad stuff, I wasn't really sure I was liking where it was going, because the first, like, alien-ish attack was actually borderline kind of gratuitous. It wasn't like slasher level, but it was like, ooh, that was woof. But they do kind of tone it down in other scenes, and it is infrequent enough that it doesn't like consume the film. Then there was another alien-esque scene that took place soon after that kind of, I don't know why, but it just reminded me of something out of Alien 3. And if you didn't know, that means I wasn't a big fan of what was going on. So I wasn't really sure where they were going with it, but then when they meet certain characters and certain things finally start to happen, I'm like, oh, okay, I really like where they're going with this. This is interesting. And it's really cool because you see little pieces about things that happened at the end of Prometheus and how things might happen and how it might get to Alien. But at the same time, they're planning more sequels, so there's stuff still to come and you don't know where exactly they're going. And one thing I definitely liked a lot more about this movie than Prometheus. I enjoyed Prometheus, but that was pretty slow moving and not a ton happened in that movie. This definitely kind of took more of an Alien sort of feel where it was very fast paced, there was a lot of exciting action and stuff happening, and in doing so it wasn't really as much of a horror movie. Like, you see the xenomorph running around and doing things, but they don't really do it in a spooky horror kind of way like the first Alien did. But that's okay because it was really exciting. There is some interesting religious undertones that could be construed in negative ways if you come from a religious background that I do. But if you just kind of look at it in the context of the story and the movie and don't look beyond that, it's not really a huge deal. I just figured that was something I should point out. And one other thing, which is a slight caveat, I won't go into specifics, but there was a certain point in the movie which I thought was the ending climax, and it was really exciting. I was really into it. And then it ended. I was like, okay, this is great. This movie can end. I'm loving this. But then you realize, like, oh, this was only like the end of the second act, and then there's like a whole third act, and I was like, oh, okay, well, where are they going with this? I was kind of satisfied with how they were ending it, but Where they go, okay, we'll see. Now, don't get me wrong, the third act was exciting and interesting enough, and I really liked how it ended. It had a very haunting and suspenseful ending, which made me really interested to see where it's going to go in future films. But I will say in the moment, I was like not really sure how I was going to feel about this third act because the end of the second act was so exciting and interesting. So I was afraid the third act might kind of drag and overstay its welcome. But at the end of the day, I don't think it really did. There was one attack scene that took place in a shower which seemed kind of like a B-movie horror cliche. It didn't really take away from the film because it was pretty brief, but I was like, okay, you know, that seems... You had this really good thing going, but kind of like that first alien attack sequence that was kind of borderline on gratuitous. That scene and this shower scene, it was a little like, okay, that, I don't know if that really fit the tone for what this movie was going for, but it was brief and it didn't really bother me that much. So yeah, at the end of the day, guys, I had a really great time with Alien Covenant. I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would. It's definitely not as good as Aliens, because that's my favorite. However, I did like it better than Prometheus. I certainly liked it better than Alien 3, and believe it or not, I actually liked it about as much as Alien. I thought it was a good medium in between the sci-fi philosophical drama mixed with kind of the more action horror-esque ideas of the original Alien trilogy. It's not super original because they do a lot of stuff that you've seen in the previous Alien and or Prometheus films, but what they do well, so I didn't really care. I'm going to give Alien Covenant a B+. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed my Alien series if you've been watching it. But if you're watching this and haven't checked out those other ones, please do. I hope you enjoy those. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, please click on any of my other videos on my channel right now. But you know what you should do? You should click here to subscribe to my channel so you get updates for when I actually put out the new videos. And if you want to comment below and let me know what you think, please do. I always love hearing from you guys and knowing what your thoughts are on the matter.